Hey, you guys. So I did an update this morning, like 6 a.m. It was really nice out here in Arizona. It was rainy and just nice. And I was outside doing it because it was so nice and did my update and realized that my youngest wasn't outside. So I went in the kitchen and he was laying on the floor in the kitchen. And I'm like, what? He doesn't lay down. He doesn't stop moving. And so I picked him up and he got sick all over me, himself, the kitchen. So I spent time with him this morning and now he's napping. And then I looked at my update and I was watching it and I realized that I had a huge piece of spinach like right there from my morning smoothie. So I'm glad that I didn't post it and I looked at it first because that would have been awesome. So I am redoing the update. My last update was about 6 months ago. It's been 8 months since my reversal surgery. My symptoms almost completely went away. Almost all of them. I had like 3 or 4 that didn't. But most importantly, I got to start living my life again. The life that I lost 2 years of, I got to start living again. So that's why I didn't jump on here and update, because I was busy living life and making up for lost time. During that time, I weaned off the Cymbalta that I had been taking and the Lyrica that I was taking for nerve pain. Both of those medications are extremely hard to wean off of, and I did it. I got through it. It was hell, but I got through it. Now I take vitamins. I eat my fruits and vegetables. I do still take some hormone replacement therapy. I don't take the testosterone anymore. The only hormone that I take is progesterone, which I started a year ago. I take 100 milligrams every night because when a doctor finally listened to me and tested my hormones, that was the worst of the hormones. It was like a 2 or a 3, like almost 0, which would have been menopause at the ripe age of 37, and I had had a baby less than 2 years before that. Anyways, doesn't make sense to me either, but so I'm still taking the progesterone. Out of everything that I've done for symptom relief, the hormone replacement therapy and the reversal have been the greatest help for all my symptoms. But I still have some things that I deal with. About 3 months ago, I went to my doctor and said, okay, I can mark on my calendar every time I ovulate and every time right before my cycle, 2 or 3 days before my cycle, I go to this really deep, dark place. And I can't stop crying and I'm depressed and I hate myself and I hate everything and I'm mean and I snap and I can't sleep and I scare myself. And I described this to her and she said that it's PMDD. It is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. She said there's a few ways to treat it. One is you could have histamine intolerance, so we can test for, and then you would just take antihistamines 2 weeks before your cycle start. It could be a serotonin drop, because serotonin is a hormone. So it could be serotonin dropping 2 weeks before my cycle starts, which are from ovulation to when the cycle, so it could be that. Or your progesterone is still low, and you've had such good luck with the progesterone, we'll up your progesterone during that time and see how that goes. So we're like, I was on board. Okay, that sounds good. The first month of doing that, I had a couple, side effects, a couple changes that I noticed, but nothing major. And I didn't have to hide when I was ovulating or a few days before my cycle started. I didn't have to hide and disassociate from everyone because that's what I would do. That's how I treated it. I kept myself away from life so that I could just be and not say mean things and not hurt people and not just cry for random stupid reasons. That's what I did. That's how I treated it. Well, I didn't have to do that month. So to me, that was just awesome. The second month of doing it, of upping the progesterone during that luteal phase, I had some more symptoms, but I still didn't have to hide. I didn't have to go on rage walks, is what I'd call them. I would go and walk around the mountain and just rage the whole time, like, and I would wear myself out, is what I was doing. The third month, let's see. Oh gosh, a lot happened, and I've got a lot of it written down here. I started to swell. Like I couldn't make a fist with my hands. I couldn't open anything. Let's say it was like Wednesday, and I put on a pair of shorts that had fit me fine, and they were actually baggy. And I was like, oh wow, I think I can go down a size in these shorts because I've been going to the gym and working out and trying to build muscle back. And I haven't lost any, like my weight hasn't changed, but I've put on muscle, so my size has changed. And then that Saturday, I went to put on that same pair of shorts and I could not button them because I was so swollen. Like, so you could physically see the swelling. My hair started coming out. I was dizzy. I couldn't sleep. I got ovarian cysts again, which are awesome. They burst again, and there's nothing you can really do about that. And I was not about to go back to the emergency room so they could charge me a bunch of money to do absolutely nothing. Still pretty bitter. Um, oh, let's see. I've still got bruises like all over me from I don't know what. Um, so this was about 2 weeks ago. I stopped taking the 200 milligrams and just went back to the 100 milligrams. I called my doctor that Monday, spoke with her Tuesday. She said, okay, so that you got too much progesterone. Stay on the progesterone, but let's try the sertraline for the serotonin level drop. So now I'm trying sertraline, or I think it's Zoloft or Lexapro. I'm not sure. It's sertraline is what I'm taking. So I started that a week ago, week and a half ago, to see if that helps for the PMDD. Last night I'm still experiencing symptoms. They're not as bad as they were. Like the cystic acne that was on my nose and my neck and my head has almost gone away, but my hair is still coming out. I'm still not sleeping very well. I still have swelling like in my back and my neck that you can't see anymore, but I feel it. So last night I stopped taking the progesterone. I slept, which is surprising because cycles should start in like 2 days. So I've got two thoughts on this. Either my body actually healed. Sorry, there's something on my camera. Either my body actually is healing and I don't need it anymore. Or, and that's a possibility because I don't need the testosterone anymore. My estrogen, like all my other hormones are better and got better except for the one. So it could be that, or that I just overdid it and I'll need to go back to the 100 milligrams of progesterone. And I'm okay with that. But for right now, I'm coming off of it because I have to do something. Hoping my body healed. What else has happened? I wasn't sure if I should bring this up or not, but I am bringing this up because it's part of my journey. In February, I woke up and I was sick. I felt sick. I felt nauseous. And I was leaning over my kitchen sink because I felt like I was going to throw up. And I looked over at my oldest child and it was like deja vu. I'm pregnant. And I was mad. I was really mad because I've got 3 kids. I don't want another child. It's not what I want. But there I was. Wasn't going to change it. Wasn't going to do anything. I knew that I couldn't live with myself if I did anything about it. I just can't. Not that, people can do, women should have the choice to do what they want with their body. Well, my body, my choice. So it took a little while, about 2 weeks, before I was like, okay, we're going to have another one. Starting to get excited and, imagine the possibilities. And as soon as I accepted it, it was gone. I'm still not okay with it. I'm still working through it. It was there and it was gone, and I've got nothing to show for it. And oh, it sucks. It's not what I wanted, but I didn't want to be pregnant, but I did not want that. Okay. That's for my own healing. Oh, okay. So, and the last I've been going to the gym. I've been trying to heal. I've been trying to take care of myself. Building muscle, eating my fruits and vegetables, trying to make up for the last time that I lost for my children, for my husband, from life. A lot of things have changed. I'm going to backtrack a little, but during the time that I was really sick, there were multiple times that I felt like I was dying. Like I had the feeling that death was coming for me and there was nothing I could do to stop it. I said this to my husband, I said this to my doctor, and they said, I needed psych help, and I knew it wasn't in my head. My body was telling me things are wrong and that my body was I was dying. Now looking back, I know that it was hormone crash is what I was experiencing. At the age of 37, even though I had a baby less than 2 years before that, okay, but anyways, so that experience completely changed me. I'm not that person I was. Who gets to say that they faced what felt like or what could have been death and got to come back? So, I've been trying to heal. I've been trying to do better. I went and actually got diagnosed with ADHD, which the test they do for adult ADHD is complete torture, by the way. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during it because it was so boring. I don't know how anyone can pay attention to that, but it was funny because the ADHD, it was like, here's a normal brain, here's someone with attention deficit, here's someone with hyperactivity disorder, here's your brain, and my brain's like, I'm like, yeah, that looks right. That looks like my brain. I'm learning to cope with that. I'm learning, like a lot of things that I've done throughout my life, why I did it now. It makes sense. That's why I did it. That's why I do this. That's why. Okay, well, now I can make changes. Now I can recognize it and make changes. Growing up, so I'm in counseling for one, PTSD, PMDD, the trauma that I faced, ADHD, and then also growing up, I had a narcissistic, verbally, emotionally, and sometimes physically abusive mother. And I've learned that I disassociated most of my childhood. I disassociated from my family when I was sick. I disassociate. I pull away. It's like I leave my body when things happen. And I realize that I'm openly talking about this, and I'm openly talking about someone that people, you're going to know. And I'm allowed to do that. I was the victim then. I'm no longer the victim. I'm not going to be made to feel bad because I'm talking about the abuse that I went through. So I am in counseling for my childhood. I am in counseling for the PTSD. I'm not the person I used to be, which is good and bad. It's bad because my husband married someone else, and now I'm here. So we're learning to get through that. It's great because I'm no longer a doormat. I no longer put up with abuse. I would see the way people would treat me, and I would think that if I did this better, if I changed this about myself, if I did something different, they would love me and they would accept me. if I let them speak down to me and I put up with it, I was being the bigger person. People would lie to me, and they still lie to me, and I would look past it because I cared about them, and I want them to know that I cared about them no matter what. Well, I've learned that that's not okay. That's not being the bigger person. That's me having absolutely no boundaries. So I've learned to put boundaries in place. And as I've put boundaries in place, people have showed me their true colors and who they really are. And whereas before I would chase them and want their love and want their support and want their acceptance, and now I'm not chasing them. I don't want them. I don't want someone who's going to lie to me. I don't want someone who's going to talk down to me. I don't want someone who's just going to treat me like crap just because they can. I don't want it. So go away. I've been reaching out and making friends with people who don't give me red flags. So I've been learning how to recognize the red flags and actually see them for what they are. That's pretty awesome. I'm actually hanging out and spending time with people who don't give me red flags. And when I do see a red flag, I'm able to bring it up either in that moment or very close after it. And the people that are still a part of and in my life, they just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they change it and they move on. And it's freaking awesome. I've never had that before. I didn't even know that was a thing that could be done. You could say, "Hey, what you did hurt my feelings." And they're like, "Oh, my bad. I won't do it again." Okay. And then some people, you say, "Hey, what you're doing isn't right," or "I don't appreciate that," or "You, that's not okay." And oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff just, and you never thought that this person was capable of those things, but there it is, and they show you who you are, and I'm learning to actually see it. So, yeah, sorry, this is more than just a PTLS update. This is my life update. I am learning how to let go of past relationships that I held on to for way too long. These people let me know that they did not care. They let me know very bluntly that they did not care. They let me know that I was not important to them. And I kept putting them on an important spot in my life. And I'm learning to let that go. And that's been freeing, but also hard. People who suck the life and the energy out of me, I don't spend time with them. So a lot has changed. A lot has changed. I couldn't do any of that before. I couldn't stand up for myself. I couldn't set boundaries. Now I can stand up for myself. Now I can set a boundary. And now when things happen, I can't tolerate it. It's not that I won't tolerate it, like I choose not to. I can't tolerate it. I felt like I was going to die, and I got to come back from that. You're not taking my peace from me anymore. And that's what happens when you heal from trauma. It's uncomfortable. But you start doing things that give you peace. You start doing uncomfortable things that give you peace. I'm still active on the Facebook PTLS website. I still, or not website, but the site. I still support other women going through this, and I don't give them advice, like medical advice. That would be crazy. Their doctor can. That's for their doctor. I give them, here's my story, here's what I did, here's what worked for me, here's what did not work for me. But we don't know until you get your hormones checked, until you actually find a doctor who will support you with that. What worked for me may not work for you. But the one thing I do push is go make yourself whole. Find a way to get the reversal fixed. Don't take no for an answer. If someone tells you no or they don't believe you, you fire them and you find someone else who will. You push, you make it happen. You don't deserve this. You do not deserve this. I am going to log off here. I'll try to keep updating. I can't promise anything because life. I've got a life again. I want to make the most of it. I want to enjoy it. And I'm trying to. But I'm not perfect. I still struggle. This is something that I'm always going to struggle with. I'm not struggling like I did before. I'd say I'm like 95% better. I mean, these last 2 weeks have been hard. It's been like a very scary bringing me back to where I was. Not where I was, but reminded me of what I went through. So that's been humbling. Um, don't take your life for granted, and don't let anyone mess with your head and ruin your peace. Take care of yourself. I'm still trying to take care of myself and learn how to. I'm still here. I'm in the background. I'm healing. Not just physically, but emotionally, like mentally, I'm healing. I'm growing up. Took long enough. I gotta go. I got life to live. So, bye.